social worker at St James's Hospital in Leeds. It's the first presentation that I've done since my days of being at university, so please be kind with me. Okay. I'm just going to spend a few minutes going through some slides to discuss how I use the Leeds Care Record in my daily practice as a social worker, discuss a few real-life case examples of Leeds Care Record in action and the benefits that it has brought to the patients that I work with. So I started working as a hospital social worker in Leeds 3 years ago and started using Leeds Care Record back in October 2015. And it's really helped me in my role as a hospital social worker. And I use the Leeds Care Record in a number of ways. Firstly, every morning to keep track of where my patients are, because they move wards from time to time. It saves me having to read patient inquiries, so it saves me a lot of time each morning. I also use it to look at when medical tests and scans have been arranged, and it gives me an up-to-date medical snapshot of the patient, enabling me to plan my intervention appropriately and also at the right time. And I also use it to look up past medical history, admissions history, current GP involvement, mental health involvement, community nursing involvement. It just gives me a holistic overview of the person's health journey so far. And this also means that I don't have to go trawling through massive case files. The information is there, ready for me to look on the computer system. So CIS, or Client Information System, is the main adult social care case management system that we use on the left-hand side. And we use this to record all our assessments and interventions on. And CIS is currently being developed at the minute to directly contribute data across into the Leeds Care Record. And one way we're doing this is by currently developing what we call a hospital discharge summary tab. And that means that social workers can write into the system on CIS what we're doing to progress the person's discharge. This information will filter directly across to the Leeds Care Record. And Alistair brought up the screenshot of the virtual ward. In time, hopefully, our comments will be able to be seen directly on the ward. Nurses and doctors can look at any time and see where we are in the process, and they'll understand our role as social workers. And I'm going to go through a few case examples of how the Leeds Care Record has helped me in my practice. And the first example comes from a patient with chronic alcohol dependence, recently became homeless, had significant mental health and physical health problems, all of which were culminating in repeat hospital admissions. And just to give you some statistics, for example, in September alone, this person presented to A&E 10 times. On some days, turning up to the department more than once. In the months of May, June, July and August, there were at least a couple of hospital admissions. So, using the Leeds Care Record, I was able to see this pattern of behaviour, and I also used the Care Record to pull up information like medical diagnoses relating to the alcohol dependence. I used all this information to request funding for a supported 24-hour rehabilitation placement. This was the only way I saw to really help this person and stop the cycle of repeat hospital admissions. So in this example, using Leeds Care Record information, the admissions history and the diagnosis from the consultants, I was able to request the funding, get the information accessed quickly and easily, organise a safe and quick discharge, and the best care outcomes were achieved. I actually went to review this person in the placement quite recently, and the person's physical health has stabilised, mental health is improving, and most importantly, there have been no further admissions into hospital. The person also said that they actually now feel safe and settled, something which they haven't felt for many years. So I think that's a really good example of Leeds Care Record delivering great outcomes. My next case example involves a person with rapidly deteriorating terminal illness. And it was really important to keep track of this change in medical status on a day-by-day basis. I also viewed on Leeds Care Record a discussion that a consultant had with the person and their family about the diagnosis, discussions about their end-of-life care wishes and preferred place of care. So I was able to speak with the ward directly and ensure that a prompt referral was made to the appropriate team to facilitate end-of-life care planning. So Leeds Care Record enabled me to deliver a more targeted and timely response to the patient, and most importantly, upholding the person's end-of-life wishes, and this person was able to be discharged home to have their end-of-life care needs met where they wanted. The last example involves a patient who had specialist dietary requirements, needed modified diet, specialist equipment to eat and drink from. This person was actually moving into a nursing home, and he was being reviewed very regularly by the speech and language therapy team, who were making regular recommendations. Unfortunately, the nursing home were really struggling to get in touch with the ward and find this information out. So with me being able to access Leeds Care Record and see directly the speech and language recommendations, I was able to pass that information on quickly to the nursing home. So Leeds Care Record therefore enabled me to share the vital care information needed to deliver safe patient care and also expedited discharge from hospital to the nursing home. And thank you very much for listening, and I'm happy to take any questions that you may have.